All right. I got to play a little bit of catch up. I had to skip UK4 recording. Well, I didn't have to. There was construction going on in the roof of my house, and I did not want to put you through guys listening to pounding and sawing and all that fun stuff. So uh, I played UK4 already, and Japan 4 is in place, so we're already US4. So we did have to skip a turn. The big thing is to know that Germany wiped out my American fleet and only lost one bomber doing so. I mean, this is the type of stuff that when I say, when you're playing someone who appears to be playing at a not top level, uh, you got to be careful because they're going to do things you don't expect. And so, to me, that was a safe spot. To his best knowledge, he had a 40% chance of winning that battle to kill two transports. Because I did switch over my fighters before carriers, that gave it like a 50% chance or 52 or something. I don't know exactly, but just over, essentially a coin flip. Um, and if I had even just wiped out his bombers, or four of his five bombers, or three of his four bombers that he built another bomber, by the way, and a sub. um, I'd feel a lot better. But now, I'm like, oh, well, look at all this nice stuff he put up here for me to hit. But he's got all of this completely dead zone because of three subs, four bombers, three fighters. Oops, sorry about that. I did not have enough remaining to stack these C zones, and so I got to pull out and regather, and then come back. So I did build a sub because since he's putting these subs in here, I had done all my builds and I had 7 IPC left with my minimal ground builds that I needed for India and up here. So I had 7 IPC left. Not quite enough to build a destroyer, so I figured if I build a sub, at least it can help me build some fodder for him attacking with the sub, so that something that can just be a killable defense unit. And he can't kill it right now, so I can slowly build that up if I need to do that a couple times. He can't attack it because I can just set it to submerge. So, so that's why you see a sub there. And also, I'm working on going ahead and bringing this sub on back as well. We need the fodder, so we're going to go ahead and produce the fodder. That said, I was able to take Caucasus back with UK, so that should allow me to stack here. You can see I started to pre-stack Belarusia, plus keeping these 4 units in range of my 2 carriers. So hopefully we can start to get um, a fleet going here. Scrolling on down here, this is what Africa's looking like, and Germany's coming in. I went ahead and pushed forward here, and gonna push forward next turn with the UK. Now he did go ahead and he's now got 2 factories here, and he pulled all his transports down here. So he's got India next turn, which is obviously he really wanted it. So, but unfortunately, because I'm having such a headache, this is almost reminding me of the Loan Shark game in a way, right? I'm gonna end up giving up India, and I've got all these crazy, airplanes, and having trouble getting my fleets to be able to situate down here. So, a little it's a different game. I will say that. Um, in a second, I'll pull up. I can pull up the Loan Shark game next to this game, and as far as the stats go, it's completely different. So even though it does bring back bad memories, I'm much more ahead on units because he's lost a lot of unit counts here, and I'm trying to make Russia punish him for it. So that's what my goal. Since I can't use UK and US so well, I need to keep pushing with Russia. So he did pull out, which means again I'm going to stack here. I'm going to do my best to keep these 2 dead zoned. Take here, um, as well as keep this guy dead zoned. Although I'm going to pull back out of it so he can move into it if he wants to. Um, the thing that I'm going to do, which is a little bit questionable, is I'm actually going to blitz a tank through to take Poland. And the reason is I really do want to keep it dead zoned. And if I don't take it, then he can land his fighters in there, and I can't dead zone it. If he lands his Air Force in there, I can't really dead zone it. And truthfully, I didn't take into consideration his AA guns. Now that I think about it, he could probably prevent the dead zone I'm looking at by moving his AA guns into there. Well, I'll relook at that. I'll pause when I come to Russia's turn, because maybe I could build a couple tanks. I got, that's the thing, 30 IPC for Russia, which I'm not used to having all that money for Russia. So maybe I can build a couple tanks and that'll help with the dead zone. A couple tanks in Karelia and that'll help with the dead zone. All right. That's a lot of talking, but I do feel like I gotta start prepping Africa here as well. So in any case, U.S. build. You can see I'm only building 2 infantry. That's a nightmare to me in round 4 for U.S. to only be building 2 infantry. But we are going to build a transport to go with him, and we're going to go ahead and get a destroyer carrier and another fighter on the board to start beefing up the fleets. With 3 subs, I do need some more destroyers on the board here too. So that's what we're doing. This whole little group here, I'm just going to keep them together because he can. Now, the good thing is this transport can only grab 1 artillery, right? I'm going to kill that guy. Coming back here doesn't really do anything. So he can only grab 1 artillery, but he could use his artillery and his 7 planes to smoke these 4 guys if he really wants to. Unfortunately, I think that might be my only attack. Let's see, I didn't even look down here, so he's chasing me with his destroyer sub. So he pulled out of Australia to go back up here. That looks like my only attack by U.S., and that just stinks. I mean, the U.S. doesn't do a lot of attacking, but this whole thing just... This is gonna be a longer game than I had hoped it would be. I am gonna build a destroyer block, when it's UK's turn. Now, one of the things that I was looking at and playing with is the fact that, we're stacking here, so Germany may squeeze this way and cut off my retreat with a 1-2 attack. So I'm going to have to be careful of this as well. But I think we'll be okay with the destroyer block pulling back. I think I'm going to go ahead and put 2 Russian infantry here so he doesn't just get it for free. And you have to send his tank if he wants or use his bombers. So... I want to leave the artillery. I miscount. I miscounted, didn't I? Oh wait, I'm only taking 1 of these. That's right, that was my plan. Down here right now. Setting up a defense for Japan coming through eventually. Meanwhile, I want... So So I'm bringing this guy down here. I can't put him in here because he could transport and hit him. But here he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, land on the carrier I'm building. With the fighter I've got coming, can go 1, 2, and land on one of these. And these fighters can go 1, 2, 3, and land on one of these. So I can take out the battleship if he does come this direction, which I don't expect him to, but you know, if he did, I'd be there. This guy. We're just pulling everybody back. Gotta simplify this whole situation. I want to get enough here so that if I'm going up here, I can wipe out these guys because I'm going to pull back and hit this guy with UK and the US. So that's why I put my artillery tank up here so that we can have a 4v4 if he moves into Finland. Alright, I'm going to pause the video for a moment. I'm going to relook at this situation with the AA guns. I forgot he can move those, so I'm going to think on this a second. Okay, so yeah. Not normally what I would do, but I'm 2 units less. I could be building 10 infantry right now, but I got time with Japan, and tanks will give me mobility to get to push up anyways, and be able to pull back when I need to, just a little bit quicker. So, but the biggest thing is putting 2 tanks here helps me dead zone these 2 guys. This one won't be a pure, it'll be a 50-50 toss up at his even IPC, but at this point, I'd be willing to use Russia just to strafe and take out as many German units as I can. So, so yeah, moving ahead. We are going to try to give Japan a little bit of headache. So again, he's weak in the center, although weak kind of top center here. So we're going to leave some guys back. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do this, so we're just going to do my combat just to claim these. He can get this back. We don't have to send a tank, and I'll be able to kill the tank. So kind of cool with that. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to do that for right now. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do non-combat wise. I'm trying to keep an eye on these bombers better than what I've been doing. Because they can still hit these squares all through here. So I got to be mindful of that. Good. At least maybe one of them will get a hit back if he decides to use his artillery and bomber and planes there. Like I said, I gotta abandon out of here anyways. So I think I want to do that just to make him have to think about it. Because I want my UK to be able to land their planes if he moves everything else in there. So, anyways. Do I want to leave one or do I want to leave two back there? Let's see, he's got 5 guys coming here. Hopefully that discouraged. I mean, he could, I guess, airstrike my 2 tanks I built up here too. So hopefully that discourages him from doing such. But let's see. I do want to pull the calculator on this because I don't want to get my 4 fighters wiped out. So he could use a battleship, an artillery, 4 bombers there. And we're going to build 4 infantry there. We've got 1 infantry there. So that should be 5 infantry, 4 fighters. That should be fine. I just want to make sure he can't claw into the fighter ranks. I mean, it's obviously a positive battle. Yeah, no, he shouldn't get to the fighter ranks then. So we can push these guys forward so that we can continue to push him this way right now. Create a little bit of a headache for Japan at least, hopefully. Two, three, we can strike there with the fighters. I think we're just gonna leave the 1 infantry there. I mean, he could do 1 infantry and bomber. You know what? Let's not even give him a chance to be lucky. Let's make him have to really consider it if he wants to do that. And so that gives me 5 units. 4 bombers isn't going to strike 5 units. And the tanks can't reach. I mean, he could hit me with more bombers if he wants, I guess. I really dislike bombers these days. They may be replacing the cruisers as my least favorite unit on the game. I say that, but I do build bombers. I don't typically build cruisers. Alright. I think that's all the spaghetti noodles moving around. This is what gives me headaches. We're just going to go with it. Alright. Oh, you know what? 1 second here. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I was going to bring over a side-by-side comparison. Oh, no, I lost it. Of the this game versus the Loan Shark game, right? So you can see round by round, side by side, and why, although kind of a similar taste to it, remember, so this is the Loan Shark game here, and remember how he had that really good round 1 with his bomber living and Ukraine failing and all that stuff. And so remember, negative is good for me, right? Negatives are allies taking a lead, and so this is just a total unit count. So round 4, I've got a 19 positive unit count on him versus in that Loan Shark game, he had 2 units more than me. So we got a 21 unit swing here. And this is partially because of that early luck, dice luck, as well as in this Alaska game, his purchases, he's buying these expensive units, you know, and factories, but he's not getting units on the board right now. So although, again, it's kind of shaping up where, you know, Loan Shark took India somewhere down in here. I forget exactly where exactly. He's going to take a little bit sooner than Loan Shark did, but I've got a lot more time still to build up here before he starts hitting. So whole point of that is just kind of show the difference. Now you can see even with that bad wipe of my fleet, I'm still gaining units on him, although he did gain IPC value of units back a little bit, and his attack power improved just a little bit. Uh, Overall, things are still shaping the right direction for me. And I noticed after I had placed the, this is after Russia's turn, so look at that, 32 for Russia. But, attack power is on the positive, 67.99 versus 82, so still got the income right now, so we should be able to extend our unit count lead even more before he starts to be able to turn around if Japan starts taking Africa. And I'm prepping up a little bit more defensively this way than I did against Lone Shark. The other thing that I will say with this setup, even though I did come down here, these two transports can come back and hit France and Northwest Europe if I can get enough defenses in here to stack C-Zone 8. I don't know if we will or not, depends on what he builds. Certainly he's got, again, 10 units that can attack there. I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus a UK build. So hopefully we'll be able to stack C-Zone 8 at least and trade one of these two properties. If not, we should be able to come up to 3, clean up the Nordics and Iceland, and not have his fighters be able to threaten me. Alright, that was a little bit longer, but that's where we stand.